Ignite your curiosity with Austin Next. We're watching Austin transform from a thriving ecosystem into a global superstar. With our host, Jason Scharf, we aspire to better comprehend the true nature of innovation. Together, we will uncover what makes a successful ecosystem and navigate the technologies shaping our future. Now let's dive into what's next.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Austin Private Wealth, a registered investment advisor focused on fee-only financial planning and investment management. Their mission is to serve affluent clients with personalized financial advice, fostering a trusted relationship that will endure for generations to come. Austin Private Wealth is not just about managing wealth. They're about inspiring you to embrace a future filled with possibilities and helping you architect enduring legacies. Their core values of integrity, service, caring, excellence, and growth are at the heart of everything they do. Connect with them today at austinprivatewealth.com.
Austin Private Wealth is a registered investment advisor. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where Austin Private Wealth and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advice may be rendered by Austin Private Wealth unless a client service agreement is in place. Investing involves risk and possible loss of principal capital. Please seek advice from a licensed professional.
Welcome to the Austin Next podcast, an opportunity for the Austin community to get to know people doing interesting things and companies building interesting capabilities here in Central Texas. Today, we have Ethan Blumenthal, the CEO of OwnProp. Ethan, tell me a little bit about yourself and about OwnProp.
Yeah, so my name is Ethan Blumenthal. I'm originally from Chicago, recently moved here to Austin about a year and a half ago. I've been a blockchain engineer for a while now, dabbling in crypto, both day trading and building stuff for a couple of years. And I wound up in Austin looking to do something cool in the crypto industry, and building OwnProp was kind of the culmination of that. So OwnProp is a platform for investing in commercial and multifamily real estate. So we work with private equity groups specifically to take a portion of their capital raises, tokenize them, put them on chain. And with that, we're able to lower the minimums for these investment opportunities from 50 to 75K all the way down to $100. As well as create a liquid secondary market so you could actually trade your investment stakes, which wasn't possible before.
Yeah, it seems like real estate has always been one of the least liquid assets, taking 60, 90, 120 days sometimes to get cash out if you had to do that. So
yeah, no, I was just going to say it's been super interesting. But yeah, these private equity deals are some of the most lucrative around. And previously, they were only available for high net worth individuals, people with a lot of money, and not accessible to the everyday person like me. So being able to really bring down the cost for the barriers to entry for the everyday person to invest in real estate, which is a game changer in terms of your investment profile and portfolio, is really cool.
yeah, tell me a little bit more about the company. When did it get started and what stage are you at today?
Yeah, so we started OwnProp about a year ago. Our first offerings were last summer. Currently, we're doing Reg B offerings, which means they're only open for accredited investors. So what's an accredited investor? That's someone who makes 200K 2 years in a row or has $1 million in net worth. Very shortly, going forward to next summer, we're going to open up to retail. So that means we can let anyone invest in our assets. But yeah, so we've had a handful of offerings around the Austin area. One in particular that was super cool, if anyone knows Hotel Ella, kind of right by the UT campus, that was one of our first properties that we tokenized. So basically, we put it on chain, let anyone invest in the asset, and we would see, employees buying into the asset. People who are staying at the hotel would buy a couple tokens. We've been seeing that with like multifamilies in the area too. So we have a couple apartment buildings in Mueller, and we would see residents buying into their complexes and being able to really reap the benefits of the asset itself.
That's interesting. I mean, obviously, you guys have tackled a great market there, but the web, all the stuff that's going on in Web3 and crypto and NFT has been in the news much more than you guys have.
Yep.
But in your case, these tokens are actually secured by actual real property. Talk about how that makes it different from, the Bored Ape Yacht Club kind of stuff that's out there.
Yeah, so our tokens represent an LP stake in an asset. So that just means you're an investor right along with any other investor in an apartment building per se. And then with that, you're entitled to your share of rental income if they go sell the property a couple years down the road. hopefully they're selling it for more than they bought it for, and you'll be able to participate in those gains as well. But what's truly interesting about real estate is the rental income portion, because you could buy into an asset and then you can earn, 8% cash on your investment every year. And that's just not available with like dividend stocks, for instance.
So this has been the real interesting issue with regard to OwnProp, because as you move along in your process, you've gone from institutional investors to accredited investors, and now you're talking about individual investors. It's got to make you
Yep.
guys the leader and potentially put arrows in your back. How are things going now?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a handful of startups in the tokenization space. I'd say most of them are focused on single family rentals, so much smaller assets. What really differentiates OwnProp is that we're going after like prime assets like skyscrapers in downtown Austin, things that people really want to invest in and that do have lucrative upside that I'm talking about. So you can check out some of our competitors, but I think OwnProp really does lead the pack when it does come to private equity, commercial real estate. And then as far as like old school methods, you could invest in like index funds or REITs to get some access to real estate, but really those are super overmanaged and they just take a lot of fees from you. You don't get to specifically pick which buildings you're investing in. They just kind of give you whatever and you have to take it. So we're really giving you the flexibility to build out a complete portfolio of different types of assets, industrial, commercial, residential, whatever it might be in different markets. We're starting to expand outside to Atlanta, Houston. We got new property in North Carolina coming up very shortly. So things are starting to move.
So you're talking about the individual investor being able to choose at almost a granular level, this property,
Yep.
that property, and not somebody else's properties that they don't want.
Yeah, exactly. So we spent a lot of time just like making real estate super simple for someone coming into this fresh. For instance, 20 years ago, if you're the average college kid or, just out of college, you wouldn't really understand how the stock market worked, what you had to do to start investing in companies. But now Robinhood's available and everyone can go simply, check out a page and see if this is a good investment. And that's kind of what we're doing with OwnProp as well. Real estate really wasn't a thing to invest in for everyday people, 10 years ago, but now it's becoming a thing, and OwnProp makes it super simple to, figure out which assets are quality, why that may be, what's the business plan behind the asset, that kind of thing.
So tell me, how did you guys get started with this? I understand you came out of the incubator that Peter Rex had.
Yeah, so Pete Rex has been in real estate for a while now, about 17 years. He has about 2 billion in assets under management, as well as 900 million distributed back to investors under those assets. So he's been a successful real estate entrepreneur, and over his time in the industry, he came across a bunch of different problems. Real estate hasn't really been touched by technology yet, so he saw an opportunity to create basically an incubator for prop tech. And within that incubator, there's 10 different startups tackling different problems in the real estate industry, and OwnProp is one of those startups.
How did you get started in this?
Yeah, so being in Chicago, I was working as a software developer. I was looking to move down to Austin because I really thought that Austin is going to be the center of tech and culture and innovation over the next 50 years in America. So it's an important place to be. I want to move down here. I was looking for something crypto, and Pete reached out to me actually, and we just started talking. At that point, the idea was really just on paper. So we started talking, ended up working out. I started building, and now we're really starting to, see real usage with the product. So it's exciting.
It is exciting indeed. You've got a chance to sit here and talk to the people in Austin. What's your ask of the people in Austin today?
Yeah, I would say real estate is something that is going to become more and more accessible for everybody. So I would say check out the app. You can go either ownprop.com. We have a web app, or you can do it on mobile, iOS or Android. And then what's also super cool about real estate is that you can actually go and check out the assets. So like go walk over to Hotel Ella and see if you want to invest in it. And that's something that's never been available before.
Absolutely. Ethan Blumenthal, what's next for OwnProp and what's next for Austin?
Yeah, so what's next for OwnProp? So what we're really excited about is opening up the app for everybody. So opening for the retail investor. We're currently filing a Reg A offering with SEC, which will let us go to everyday investors. So hopefully next summer, we'll be able to open up to everybody and get everybody involved in this very lucrative asset class. And as for Austin, I mean, there's so many different startups popping up. You guys are interviewing tons of different people. It's super exciting and super interesting. Just like all the different kind of industries that are aggregating in Austin. And I'm just excited to see what kind of comes out of it over the next couple of years.
Ethan, thanks so much for being on the Austin Next Spotlight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So what's next, Austin? We're glad you've joined us on this journey. Please subscribe at your favorite podcast catcher, leave us a review, and let your colleagues know about us. This will help us grow the podcast and continue bringing you unique interviews and insights. Thanks again for listening, and see you soon.